what Grandma has left us as a legacy. Whether you call her sister, mother, aunt, grandma, or as the great-grandchildren do, Grandma Audrey, she left all of us an emotional legacy, something that is conceptualized and role modeled during a lifetime. It is a gift that each one of us can claim and to live out, passing it down from generation to generation. The definition of legacy certainly encompasses material wealth, property, possessions, money, and Mom had very little of that when life came to an end, but she died a very rich woman, and she bore witness to that every single day. Rich in her faith, rich in her family, rich in relationships, and rich in joy. As you've heard from the grandchildren, in many ways, Mom lived a really ordinary life, but it was a really good life. A life filled with routines and repetitive tasks. We can all identify with that. A life filled with raising children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. A life of frequent moves, and a life of adventure and fun. And a life with hardships and challenges. But they were accepted and expected as a part of life. Life was not always easy, but her generation knew how to create their own futures through ingenuity of thought, through physical labor, and through goodness of heart. Legacy is about the richness of an individual's life, including the impact that somebody has on people. And as you have heard today, Mom left a rich legacy and impacted generation upon generation in this room. David spoke to the legacy she left us in faith. It certainly gave her strength to face each day and to sleep each night, assured that God was in control of her life and her salvation was secured through Christ. Being centered in her faith filled her with peace, it kept her hopeful, and it allowed her to keep on living with joy and gratitude for over 99 years until the very last day. Audrey left us the legacy of importance of family, not just our individual family units, but you all as our extended family. The grandchildren, you heard the oldest in each family, speak about gathering at the farm, or the Columbia compound, as we call it, to celebrate Thanksgiving, birthdays, and any number of other things that we felt were worthy of celebration. But there was a rather incredible thing that happened when the grandchildren had children, so the great-grandchildren. They came in clusters, and there was a Thanksgiving that Sharon and Ashley both arrived with news to tell, and they were both pregnant, and they had the same due date, or it was within a day or two. And that happened so many times that when babies were expected, there were 3 born one summer, and they were supposed to be born within several weeks of each other. So they came in clusters, resulting in cousins in this room being of the same or similar ages. Carter, Evan, and Anna Caroline. Liam, Anthony, Joe, and Vanessa. Henry and David. George, Bella, and Daniel. Emmett, Edward, and Isaac. Elliot, Miles, and William. And then little Audrey and Reese. All sharing our lives, knowing something of our roots, discovering who we are as a family, different and yet the same, and somehow there's comfort in that. We don't value family because they look like us, or they think like us, or they sound like us, but just shut your eyes and you'll have trouble thinking about who's talking to you, because we do sound quite a bit alike. We value family because we have our roots in the same pot. We share a common history. We are a community. And at its best, we are a one-stop support system, a safe place in a sometimes divisive and unkind world. Audrey contributed significantly to both the sense of our family and the values of our family. She was a fountain of encouragement. She loved our dreams, and she encouraged us to pursue them wherever they may take us. That was the legacy passed down from her family. She brought that to our family. She came from a family that valued education and training, that reached back and brought others along with you, that made the world a better place for others to live. She blessed us by envisioning a bright and happy and successful future for each one of us and doing whatever she could to enable our dreams. She believed in us. And as many of her grandchildren attested to, she was a real class act. Fabulous dresser, truly a gentle spirit, generous, gracious, helpful, humble, and kind. She left us a legacy of unconditional love. She valued and loved each of her family members, each of you. She not only allowed, but encouraged us to be unique by accepting us and respecting us for our individual personality traits, our gifts and talents, which she openly celebrated with us, our individual opinions and preferences with which she didn't necessarily agree, and our lifestyle and work commitments. She was non-judgmental about life circumstances that might challenge us at one point in life or another, and was always reaching out to help and support us in any way possible. Mother understood grace and extended it freely and compassionately as part and parcel of her unconditional love for every one of you. Even when vascular dementia appeared as a diagnosis on Mom's medical chart during the last 9 months of her life, she never confused you. She knew that day when we made all the phone calls to each one of you who lived out of town on her birthday, there was no question in her mind who she was talking to, and she knew something of interest about every single one of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and her children, of course. On her 99th birthday in March, she truly rose to the occasion. Stacy and I often talked about Phoenix rising from the ashes, because a mother would have days where she was confused, but let somebody walk through that door and she just lit up. She rose to the occasion of any social circumstance that should present itself. Stacy and I were trying to be very considerate of planning her birthday celebration, and we thought, now we're going to keep this kind of to a minimum. We're going to do it over 3 days. We're going to keep, just small sections of people coming in. We'll do it one family unit at a time so that she can focus on that family and then have the next one come in. And the day was absolutely perfect. Some of you were late, some of you were early, and everybody stayed all afternoon. It was joyful, chaotic, wonderful family time. It was not separated and individual as we had anticipated. It was just what we are. Everyone came, everyone stayed, the laughing, the love, and Mother was amazing. She was vibrant, she was colorful, she was mentally locked into her family. As Ethan said, she was batting a balloon around with his kids. She conversed, she laughed, she hugged us all. She listened to the piano recitals of the great-grandchildren. But the thing that so touched me is that she looked at everybody in the eye. She connected, and she exuded love to all of us. There were those verbal hugs, and there were the hugs sent to when we talked to Sharon's family, and Oliver and Ethan and your families were there, but when Oliver and Connie and Julian and the Visites, the Lindsay's family all stopped by, boy, she couldn't wait to ask Carter how his golf game was. And she said, Carter, I want to be out on that golf course playing golf with you. That's what would have made my day really great, if I'd been out on that golf course with you that day. Carter came in off the golf course to see Grandma, and she loved that. She loved the fact that her kids played golf. Audrey left us a legacy of fully embracing life, and in her own words, being thankful for life itself. I think every single night when I said prayers with her, she said, and I am so grateful for life itself. She took time to smell the roses, to appreciate the beauty around her, to comment on, as so many people said, you know, she could name all the flowers, but we also looked at the birds. We also noticed the changing of the seasons when we'd walk the Ottoman Trail, time and time again. We used to walk it five miles a week. Mother and I used to walk it when she was 98. I mean, she loved being out. She had many interests and the advantage of being naturally good at so many things. Others have recounted those: golf, cooking, entertaining, gardening, bridge. She looked forward to life, and she intended on living every single day she was given. There was a pastor as part of the hospice team that would come by and visit periodically. And the first time that he came to see her, he said, he tried to introduce the idea of the season of dying. Mother would not have it. She said, actually, I am not interested in talking about dying. I am interested in waking up and thinking about living every single day. And so that's how she did it. She left us the legacy of fully embracing life and every day being thankful for the life that we've been given. So how do we honor the legacy that Mom's left us? Well, you've seen some great examples in her grandchildren who have already spoken. They are doing a fabulous job of living out Mom's legacy. We can take on the best of her. We can make it a part of our lives. We can emulate her values: gentleness of spirit, generosity, graciousness, humbleness, kindness, practicing a faith-centered life, giving unconditional love to others, embracing life and being thankful for the life that we have been given, and always unconditionally extending grace to one another. Lastly, and very importantly, making the commitment to stay connected with all of us, your family, gathering periodically in fun and in chaos as part of an extended family unit. Mom would have loved today. She would have loved that all of you were here. A gathering of her family. So tell stories about her, share your lives, have fun, and of course, enjoy the food, which was always such a part of the culture of our family, and the love that she extended to us. Mom would have loved to have been here today, and I think she is in spirit with all of us. So let's just have a wonderful time